Alright, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back today with another video about the decline of a skill, and today we're taking on fishing. You may be wondering what upsets me about fishing changing over time. Aside from Tempoross, which we'll get to, that's its own story, people mostly train the skill the same way that they used to back in the day. You catch fish, simple enough. Yeah, but my issue is with the variety that exists today. Here's a guide from Zybez back in March 2007. You're going all the way from 1 to 99. You only have to change scenery 2 times. 3 different locations, all the way through. Several 100-hour grind, 2 decision points. That's the perfect amount. Anything beyond that, we're getting too complicated. I don't like it. So let's go through that perfectly short list of options we had back in the day before the backup of the servers was made, and then walk through some of the new cop-out methods for training fishing and the poser fish that have been introduced over the years to devalue this grind. So first things first, we're going to get started following that Zybez guide and head over to Draenor Village, where we're going from level 1 to level 20, massacring shrimps and anchovies. It's only going to take a few hundred here. Now keep in mind I am spending the exact amount of time at every spot to get all of the levels up all the way through 99. You're just seeing short clips that I'm putting in the video, but trust me, off screen I'm getting all the way to 99 at each of these locations. So get up about 5,000 experience over here, and then you'll be ready to head on to our next location, Shiloh Village. Here we are in Shiloh Village. Bet you weren't expecting that after the last clip. And we're going to be doing some fly fishing, levels 21 all the way up to level 80. We're going to be fishing salmon and trout, and we are not concerned with seasonal limits. It's going to be about 35,000 of these fish per player getting level 80. Now keep in mind, these aren't the money fish, so once you haul them out of the water, feel free to just drop them on the floor and let them suffocate. You don't need to bank them, nothing like that. Again, not concerned with the local populations of these fish. They seem to be doing fine. On to the final leg of your journey at level 80 fishing. You're going to go to the fishing guild and start pulling down the sharks. Now you can fish those at level 76, but I don't know, we're following the guide. They said wait till level 80. Makes sense enough to me. Now you're going to hang here until you've caught several thousands of sharks, and then you've accomplished your goal, level 99. Now I do want to note there are some cool fish that were out back in 2007 and before that this guide didn't touch. I love that kind of variety, so I'll go through it, and it's great because, you know, just as a typical member of the RuneScape player base, I hate everything new and love everything old regardless of relative merit. So let's go through some of the great options of fish that were around but just weren't in the guide for whatever reason, and then we'll get into the garbage new stuff. Now the most nostalgic one for me personally, it's got to be lobsters. Dropping that pot in Catherby with no openings in the pot now that I think about it. No idea how the lobsters got in or how we get them out, but don't worry about it. Just drop that in the water, rip them out, sell them for 100 each in Falador Park, and you're going to be in full rune in no time. Also some swordfish and tuna spots here, which were pretty popular back in the day. Unfortunately, it's a ghost town now due to all the updates that are ruining old content. It used to be so lively back in the day. Now, a little later than Catherby, but still a classic, Monkfish got added to the game in May 2006 up here in Piscatorius. In case you've never seen the real-life version of a Monkfish, here you go. This is your first opportunity, and I'm confident the second will be in your nightmares tonight. Now, being the geniuses they are, the Gower brothers saw this baby and were like, yep, that's going to be a lot tastier than a lobster. So they made it heal 16 health, which was one of the best options back then, making it a pretty nice fish that a lot of people sought after. I remember catching these bad boys all the time when I was younger, not having any idea the kind of nightmare I was hauling out of the ocean. Now for the last of the old training methods, we've got Barbarian Fishing. I was a little torn on this one because it did come out back in 2007, but it's kind of been bastardized in the modern day. What you're supposed to do is sit by this river, wait, and then drop your fish once you get them. Now people are using tick manipulation. They're getting their rates way up. It really pisses me off, but in the spirit of the old way of doing things, this was a good way of training back in the day, and I'm going to pay tribute to it. The first new addition to the game after it came out in 2013 was the dark crabs. Those are from March 2014, which came out as part of the first wilderness rejuvenation, which went swimmingly, as we all remember. And my main issue with these is that they heal 22 HP. Previously, only the mana ray could do that, which was obtainable from Fishing Trawler, a flawless minigame with no issues whatsoever. But now, you just walk out to the wilderness, basically no risk whatsoever, and haul a bunch of them out, 22 HP each. Totally devalued mana rays, really stupid. Also on top of that, you use a lobster pot to catch them, which really pisses me off, because that's for lobster, that's for Catherby, not the wilderness. What are we doing? We're heading the wrong way, Jagex. Next up, November 2015, we get the Sacred Eels in Zolandra. Now, a couple issues with these. The fishing spots don't move very often, so you can catch quite a few at one location. Plus, even when you get a full inventory, you can just process them right there. You never have to bank. I can't really think of a worse combination personally. On top of that, this is the first time we really see fish being gotten on a large scale for anything other than food. I guess you could argue Barbarian Fishing, but don't prove me wrong. Shut up. And that just kind of changed the atmosphere. You know, fishing is for fish. You eat the fish. You don't slice them open. And to add insult to injury, these things have an option to eat, but you can't even do it. What's that? January 2016, we got the Anglerfish added to the game. Now, these are pretty stupid for a couple of reasons. First off, they can overheal your hit points, which used to be the domain only of the Sarah brew. You're really going to take a power like that from a god and give it to a fish? It's ridiculous. On top of that, the way you actually catch them makes no sense. Now, according to Wikipedia, these bad boys live at depths of 200 to 500 meters, but you just dig up some fucking sandworms, and I guess they like those so much that they're willing to just come all the way within like 6 inches of shore. Get real, man. June 2017, we get the Infernal Eels. There's really not much to note here. It's another type of eel where you never have to bank and you don't use them for food. So, very original of you, Jagex, to do that one again. It is kind of cool, though. You take a hammer to them once you catch them. Maybe if we call like PETA on ModMac K, we could get this one dialed back. I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a month later, in July 2017, we got Minnows added to the game. Now, these are a little different from other fishing spots. They just move around clockwise, and you want to make sure that that flying fish bastard doesn't take away your catch. So don't be fishing where he's at. Go to any other spot. You'll rack up a crap ton of minnows really quick. And for whatever reason, this dumbass is willing to trade a whole-ass shark for 40 minnows. Seems like a pretty bad deal, at least pound for pound, but who am I to judge? My main complaint with this one is it massively devalued sharks. I caught 100 million of those in the last year right before this update, and then Jagex is going to come at us with this. Felt targeted. Fuck you for that. You knew what you were doing. You were after me. Still taking the extra 5 I got while recording this clip, though. Drift net fishing, we got this back in September of 2017, and it's the first time we really see the actual gameplay loop of fishing change. We're not just clicking on the spot and waiting, we're chasing them down. Just look at all the colors you need on your screen, all the clicks you need to make. It's really just not the vibe. Plus you get hunter experience while you're doing it. I'm not hunting the fish, I'm fishing the fish. Stupid. It's actually kind of dope though. You swim around, you chase them with your trident. It's pretty... No, sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. This is new content. It sucks ass, just like everything else. Now this next one is the one that I have the least complaints about as far as new fishing content goes. Aerial fishing. We got it all the way back in January 2019. It's basically falconry, but for fishing. And what I do kind of like about this one is it takes a relaxed skill like fishing and makes it more of a carpal tunnel skill. Plus the rewards take a ridiculous amount of hours to get. So if you want that fish sack, you're going to be doing this for about 50 hours straight, pretty reasonable. And hopefully in that time you get the 1 in 20k golden tench. The experience rates are pretty bad. So all in all, I'd say of everything they've added, this is number 1. Now all of the new additions to fishing we've gone through have been pretty rough, but none of them even hold a candle to the monster that is Tempoross. Now, if you've ever done this minigame, boss, whatever you want to call it, you'll know that you fish stuff out, you can choose to cook it or not, then you fire your harpoon fish at the boss and repeat while some stuff is going on in the environment that you have to avoid. Basically what this has done is introduce dynamic gameplay to the skill of fishing, which is disgusting. An old school RuneScape skill should consist of a single core mechanic that you train from level 1 all the way to level 99. There's 2 ways that mechanic can go. Either torturous boredom, like old fishing, or carpal tunnel. Okay, either one of those routes is acceptable, but it's got to be one of those two. You can't be doing something that's chill enough to talk to other people and different enough to enjoy while also getting the rewards of a skill. It's just ridiculous. We need to stop changes like this from coming in and decaying our game. Fortunately, we are community driven. We can make our voices heard. As I've been saying, meet me in Falador with your cannons. Let's get this stuff rolled back and seize back our game. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. It is sad in a way to be chronicling the decline of all of these skills, but somebody has to do it. It's important that the world knows what's going on. That's our only chance of stopping it. I mean, look at all these people and bots behind me. They belong in Catherby and they don't even know it. They've forgotten their place. They're out here fishing at Tempoross. It's just sad to see. But it is my journalistic responsibility, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have a skill in mind that you want to see me cover that you've seen in decline, let me know in the comments below. And I appreciate you watching. As always, I'll see you in the next one.